Hey everyone, it's the fourth week now on the tank that I'm experimenting with, which is the Opae Ula shrimps with Marrimo mothballs. And things aren't really going according to plan. First of all, the previous holding tank where the shrimps were in, although the nitrites are testing at zero, the nitrates are testing at zero, and there is algae growing, which I assume is a sign of the tank is cycled, the algae is growing already, everything is doing fine. But the chaetomorpha macroalgae, which was inside, was starting to die off. And I don't know why, maybe because of a lack of nitrates. The nitrates and nitrites keep testing at zero in this tank. So maybe it's a lack of nitrates, maybe there's not enough iron, I don't know. This is not a properly maintained, like a reef tank or a refugium or something. So the chaeto started dying, and pieces of it start to fall off all over the place, and that caused the ammonia to continue to rise up higher, and the tank has a particular smell right now, and it's not pleasant. And I don't know what's wrong. So the chaeto started dying. The shrimps were doing fine. In fact, they started bearing and they had babies. I was very happy about that. But there's a funny smell. There is some ammonia, not a lot. It's testing at about 0.1 part per million. It's not a lot, but it's there. And zero nitrites, zero nitrates. So I have no idea what's wrong with this tank. So I was getting a bit worried. So what I did was I changed about 50% of the water, and I decided to drain this tank almost completely. So it was midway through the cycling process. There were, from me dosing ammonia in, I was starting to see nitrites and nitrates. So I know that the nitrifying bacteria has already established itself there. So what I did was I drained almost all the water, probably 90% of the water, and then I fill it back up with RO water, and mix with the correct ratio of salt which I wanted. So it's a brand new tank of water now, and I shifted most of my shrimps over. Right, I took 7 full-grown Opae Ula shrimps, 1 juvenile. I say juvenile because it's about half size, and 2 babies. They are not larvae anymore. They are swimming. They're like full-grown prawns, but they are really super tiny, like maybe 2 to 3 mm in size. So there's 10 of them here now total. 7 adults, 1 juvenile, and 2 kids or babies. And remaining in this tank are 1 juvenile, 1 baby, and 2 adults. 3 adults, something like that. So I've got a total of 15 shrimps, 10 here, 5 here. So far it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days since I've moved the shrimps over. The good news is they seem to be fine. The bad news is I decided to move the 2 buried shrimps over, and perhaps it's the shock of the transition. I am not sure, because the water quality of this tank is pretty good. It's pure RO water with the marine salt, right? If I tested for the ammonia, nitrates and nitrates, it's all zero. It's been zero for the past 4 days. But when I transfer them over, maybe it's the shock of the transfer. Maybe it's because I was catching them in the net. Both of the mothers dropped most of the eggs, which is really sad. So now one of the mother has 2 eggs left, and the other one has 1 egg left. I really hope these 3 babies make it, become their larvae and become these little baby shrimps. All right. And I hope the rest of the setup works. So this is a long-term experiment, because I have no idea if the Marrimo mothballs will be sufficient as the only counterbalance in this ecosystem, where the shrimps eat their food or whatever algae that grows in here. They produce ammonia in their waste, and the waste is converted through nitrifying bacteria to nitrites and nitrates, and hopefully those nitrates are absorbed by the large amount of cladophora. Maybe it's not cladophora, I don't know what it's a form of cladophora, the Marrimo mothballs that I have put in. Yeah, so everything's looking fine right now, but this is a long-term experiment. We are only in the 4th week. So I will end this video with some additional clips of the buried shrimps when I transfer them over. They had a lot more eggs then, and until today there's only 3 left. So share with you some clips of the shrimps, and see you guys next week if there are any updates. Bye.